happy enough to fall in love with someone?
I love you!
Try not to ruin it by Googling them.
The Contradiction with Lethea McCann and Byron McDonald.
Just to make sure you don't forget what we look like.
And we are live. Welcome to The Contradiction, guys, with myself, Byron McDonald and Lethea McCann. As I say each week, Facebook is a private interface. So if you do get logged out, please just hop back onto the page and you'll find the link there.
That's right. And as I say each week, The Contradiction is about bringing different viewpoints together and allowing you, the viewer, the opportunity to comment and engage and share your viewpoint on the topic. So each week we get a new guest host with a new topic to discuss and contradict each other's viewpoints. Mm-hmm. So our guest host for tonight's show is an amazing couple all the way from the USA, and that is Kurt and Amy Cotney. Kurt is a full-time pacemaker rep and is well loved by his patients with his warm and friendly demeanor. Amy is a full-time realtor and lives in full color and can be spotted doing TikToks. She has a t-shirt line called I Need a Drink and considers herself a serial entrepreneur. Kurt and Amy met at a tailgate in November 2010 and now share two beautiful children together. With an 11-and-a-half-year age difference and being complete opposites, they both agree that age is just a number and opposites indeed does attract. Mm-hmm. So without any further ado, let us go ahead and bring on Amy and Kurt Cotney.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Good morning from the good old USA.
Yes.
Good evening from this side of Africa.
How have you guys been, Amy and Kurt?
We've been busy, awesome,
extremely busy this time of year.
This is a busy time of year, but all good. He's about to go play Santa Claus this afternoon.
I've been growing this out for
him to be Santa Claus. I'm going to be an elf. I've decided not to go with Mrs. Claus. I'm going to be an elf.
She says she's not old enough.
Yeah, well, I am.
And so you guys know exactly why we got you on for this for tonight's show, and that is for the topic, which is marriage the ultimate commitment?
That's a good question.
So I'm not sure if you both have experiencing that or if this is your first marriage, but we would love to hear what your take is on this question or on this topic.
Before we go into the viewers, though.
Yes.
Well, I've been married 5 times. No, I'm kidding. We don't like to talk about that. No. But I have been married before, and this one has not. He waited. He saved himself for me.
Oh my gosh.
Lucky him, lucky me.
Yes.
Yes. But go ahead. I'll let you answer this.
No, I believe it is the ultimate commitment. That's one reason that I waited for a long time and found someone I was truly compatible with and could see myself with long term. So that's my personal, and I believe you believe in that too.
I do. Absolutely.
I do. Amy's had some bad luck.
Yes, I have. But that's experience. I call that experience and wisdom. So
sure.
Yeah.
Well, Biden, what is your take? Do you think marriage is the ultimate commitment? I've never been married before.
I've been married, and it doesn't seem like it was the ultimate commitment because I'm not married anymore.
True.
From my point of view is, look, marriage is a big step, and I still enjoy it. I still enjoy marriage, and I think it's a commitment. It's one of the biggest steps you can take in your relationship because you are making a commitment in front of God if you're religious. Mm-hmm. If you're not religious, you're also making the next step to tell the person, okay, you can take half of my stuff if there's no prenuptial agreement. Yeah. So marriage to me, it's not really the ultimate commitment. It just means you are committing further into this relationship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel, and I should partially agree with you, Biden, and also partially agree with Kurt and Amy. Marriage, it all depends on, I think in today's day and age, marriage has lost its value, or people are not appreciating marriage anymore as for what it stands for. And I don't believe that in today's day and age that marriage is the ultimate commitment, because even in marriage, people still get divorced, people still choose to cheat or act in a way that is not appropriate for marriage. I feel that it's based on what you make of it, because people that are in relationships can even be happier than those that are married. So the question is, why do people choose to get married? That's the big question for me, Biden. What is your reason for wanting to get married?
I was forced. I'm joking. I wasn't forced.
Is it because it's socially imposed? Is it
But this
because
is
of
why we have guests. Why are you putting me on the spot? though?
I have a question for you. Why do you think marriage doesn't have the same value? Like, what causes the value to be, I guess, devalued? What causes marriage to be devalued in today's society? What are the main reasons?
See, now that's a good question. What causes marriage to be devalued? Look, I see marriage in the past was to acquire land and people to be together. Also religious reasons and all those things. But nowadays, people don't see the value in marriage because nowadays you get a lot of independent women. They don't need a man to look after them, to look after them as a possession or anything, and so forth. In the past, women wanted to get married to a good guy, has a good job, can look after her, come home, I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll do all these things. Nowadays, we have so many options.
She's so good.
We have so many options out there. There's so many people going out there with options saying, but I don't need to be married to this guy. He's not the only guy for me. There's another guy that can look after me. I can work for myself. In the past, people got married not just because of love. And this is the reason why people stayed longer in marriages, because they felt trapped, I would say, as such.
Yeah,
Well, I think we both grew up in the same
we did.
very traditional, and where we live, this part of the country is very traditional, very religious. And so both of our family, our parents are still married.
My
to this
mom
day.
and dad have been married 57 years.
Yeah.
And his parents, I don't know, 40 something years. And so
45.
I can honestly say I did not get married to this one to have him take care of me, because I can take care of myself. And I can also entertain myself really well. And so I don't get lonely. So I didn't get married for that.
I think we both agree that happiness, your happiness is relying upon yourself.
Yeah,
we don't,
for sure.
Like, my happiness does not depend on her.
Thank the Lord. That's pressure.
She does help.
Yeah.
But my point is, like, I think individual happiness should come from within. Rely on someone to make you happy. I think you have to ultimately control your decisions and how you live your life, and that should make you happy. So I think we both have very positive outlooks on life, and I never dwell on negative things. So that's why I have such a positive outlook on life, is because I don't think about the negative things. I don't look at things in a negative light.
Wow.
So that's just my personal.
Do you know what? One thing I take away from the both of you, and that comes from the video that Lithia was talking about us and watched. And do you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, the two of you have been married for so long, knew each other for so many years," and these things. Because there again, why I say marriage is not the ultimate commitment. Because I mean, I've been married before, and I mean, I found her in my life, and we grew up in the same road. And funny enough, we found each other in a different world, a different space, different area again. But the thing is, it does not mean that you can't find love again. Yes, marriage is a commitment. You're taking that step to say, you are mine and I'm yours, and I'm making this choice to be with you. But why I say it's not the ultimate commitment, it's the ultimate commitment in front of God. You're making a promise, yes.
Right.
You're making a promise to be with this person. But what if that person is toxic for you? What if that person is taking every inch out of you? What if that person is ungodly as such, if you want to put it as such?
I've had that happen. I mean, I've lived through that before, so I can understand that part of a marriage. You know, the toxic part where you just you can't do it anymore. So I totally get that. I think that in a lot of ways with marriage, and I see it because I have a lot of friends that are in their 30s and 40s, and I know here in the South, especially in our state, it's very easy to get divorced. Like, you can sign a paper and then you're divorced 30 days later. Other states are like a year or 2 years, but Alabama is extremely easy. And I think that people go, oh, done with this. And it's kind of like Match.com. They don't like that. They don't want to work through things. And marriage is work. I mean, it's everyday work, you know. Some days are better than others. You know, we're lucky because I think we're a little bit older and we get along really well. And he's also very easy. I can be a bit of a fireball. I'm not gonna lie. So I can be, but he knows he knows how to handle me really, and he doesn't try to drown out my
Dampen-
fire.
dampen
Yeah,
your
he doesn't.
flame.
He doesn't
I
try
don't
to.
do it.
I used to tell my parents all the time, "You're trying to drown my fire, Mom." And so, and he never does. And that's kind of why we do so well together. But I do believe it makes it hard for marriage to be the ultimate commitment when it's so easy to get out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I think that marriage is not not just a commitment, but it's a responsibility. It's a vow and a responsibility. And many people, when they decide to get married, they are not ready for the responsibility, or they do not know exactly what comes with it. And that's why they are so it's so easy for them to just take the get out free card, because they are not ready to take on that responsibility. They just think
Exactly.
it's white picket fence and everything's just going to be hunky dory after marriage, perfect family, and but it takes a lot of work.
You did. I think I've seen a trend in the younger ages. We have I have a Gen Zer and two millennials too as well, sons. And I've seen them take their time a lot longer than like what I did in my generation. And he took his time. And I hope with the taking of time and really considering things instead of jumping right in as, oh, I need a man to help, take care of me, that there won't be as much divorce as there has been. Because my generation completely sucks at marriage like they do. So, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm seeing a little change in that where they really think about it before, unlike my generation. Let's put it that way.
I love what Amy said there. My generation sucked at marriage. I don't want to guess your age. I'm just going to say a little bit further back than mine. But I'm joking. But what you said was so matured and so open-minded, because a lot of older generation would love to tell our younger generation, yeah, you guys don't know what it is to be married. You guys don't know how to stick it out. No, we look at the red flags nowadays. We now get out of a situation, not to be stuck in one and be unhappy for the life that we have left here.
That's right.
I would say. So what you said was very open-minded, and I think a lot of older generation don't think like that. They just don't.
I'll be honest. Society has changed so much. Think about this. I mean, like our parents didn't have internet. They didn't have cell phones. They didn't have access to, Facebook is probably one of the leading causes of divorces.
Especially when it came out. Yeah, for sure.
So they didn't have the distractions that today's society has. So that can be a contributing factor. So.
Well, but then that's that generation. And then we have our generation. And I think that with the kids and the Gen Zers and the millennials, a lot of their parents have been divorced and they don't want to do that. So they are taking their sweet time, which I respect a lot, in making the decision to get married. And so I think that's been, I see it in my kids and their friends, and taking a longer time to make such a big decision, a commitment.
All of our kids' girlfriends, all their parents have been divorced.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody's been divorced.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unusual. So
Exactly. And that's the thing. They are more divorced. They are kids raised now more in divorced families than those that are actually raised where both parents are present. So I think one of the reasons why people also choose to get married is because they want to start a family. They want stability for their children and security for their children. But yet, then again, the divorce rate is still so high. So I actually just I have a question for Amy. And this is based on what you've mentioned, that you said you were previously married and now you found this amazing man, and Kurt found an amazing woman. What was the difference for you, or what is the difference for you now compared to the type of relationship you have with Kurt and the type of relationships you had before?
Oh, wow. You're looking for tips.
for the viewers, what they need to look out for, and red flags, and just know not to give up hope.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because a lot of women, when they reach a certain age, even women at my age, I'm not married, I don't have kids, but yet we still feel the pressure of society. When you're going to get married, when you're going to have children, so there's a lot of pressure put on women to get married and to have kids and to start a family.
That's true.
So my question, you went on. My question is, what I guess what's the difference with him compared to my ex
the relationship that you have now?
Married to before. He So
Wait.
for-
We're compatible for one.
yes, we're very
I mean, even the astrology signs line up. So
we're compatible. I don't, I think I was married to insecure men before, because I am a very like, how would you put it?
strong personality.
I have a very strong personality. I do. And I am like go, go, go. And so I think that with Kurt, he just lets me be me all the time. And he does not try to helicopter me at all. And it really works.
It's impossible.
Pretty impossible. So it works for me. Also, I know his moral compass, and it's very high. And so there's a lot of trust between us. And we were friends. We're most importantly best friends, but we were friends before we got married. And I think having a friendship is very important too, instead of just all attraction. I think it should be where you respect each other in a friendship as well, if that makes any sense.
I love that.
And that is actually what
So you should ask her the same question. Why have you waited so long for Amy?
Yeah, that is a good
That's a good
question.
question.
That is a good question.
I'll be honest with you. Amy, when I met her, there was just something different. I can't tell you. I mean, I can't really describe it other than she really just captured me. Her spirit and who she is as a person. That's the thing about her. Like, I know her on a level that most people don't. They see the fun, exciting, happy person, which she is 99% of the time, but I also see the stuff that people don't see. She's very generous. She gives of her time, and people don't. She doesn't ask for notoriety for those things, and I'm that way too. So I think we align in that sense of giving, and we both try to give of our time to people. So, but yeah, she has this infectious personality that really just captured me. And
hey, without me, he would still be laying on the sofa every Sunday afternoon he doesn't take naps anymore.
I haven't had a nap in probably, I don't know, 3 years maybe.
Maybe longer.
So she keeps you on your toes.
That's
which
right.
Is
Well, we always,
well,
I'll be honest. The things we do, if she wasn't in my life, she's affected me in that way too, is goals and things we have together. I wouldn't have done on my own probably. She's a risk taker, and I'm pretty conservative. So it kind of gives me the nudge to do things that I wouldn't normally do. And then I reel her in when I feel like she's going too far. Like, does that make sense?
So that's a perfect balance, which is what
Yeah,
you
we are very, very good balance for sure.
Yes. She has this overactive brain that constantly works at,
I'm a serial entrepreneur. I can't help myself.
So
Terrible.
Yeah. I know when to reel her in, let her do her thing, and then I need to calm her down sometimes. So.
Yeah, when I say I want to buy a polka dotted boat, he's like, no. We do not need a polka dotted boat. Why do you need that? I'm like, things like that.
Yeah, like she bought 2 camper RVs in 1 year.
We
I'm
won't
like,
talk about that.
Which we would never do. I don't know why she bought them, but.
But the main parties is that you allowed it to do it.
We had nowhere to put them. That's the problem. So,
Maybe we could go to 2 comments.
So Megan Edwards, she says, living in a world of convenience and so many choices, it's definitely filtered through to our relationships. Marriage is a choice every day.
Oh wow, it is though. That's
exactly.
what we said, and I don't know. Do we agree on that?
Yeah.
As it's because it's a choice every day, or are people still forced to get married? Like you just said now, you see everyone having kids. You see every girl getting married out there. Do I need to get married to this guy, or can I just date him? And why is marriage such a big commitment? That is, if you're not religious.
I have friends here people that I work with. They've been in relationships for 15, 17 years. They've never been married. But interesting, you know more about the law than I do. Common law marriage is
7 years
very common
here,
where even if you aren't legally married, you're still
bound
together legally. I mean,
exactly.
even though you don't have a piece of paper, you're still tied legally. So even though you don't aren't technically married. I think you make the decision
Mm.
to be in a committed relationship. So, but that's a great comment she had, because life is ultimately about decisions, and every day you can decide to do good, or you can decide to be selfish and do your own thing. So, we look at each other first and how we live our life. So,
Exactly.
but it is ultimately about decisions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a long
wow.
question.
An essay.
So let's just go to Bernadette's comment. She says people get married for the wrong reasons. They expect the other to make them happy, and that is not possible all the time. This is what leads to divorce. Those expectations. As was said, you are responsible for your own happiness.
Oh wow, that's. I just want to add on to that. Don't we get into a relationship? Don't a lot of people get into a relationship and expect something? They expect to be a bit happier than what they are. So expectations is part of going into a relationship, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
I would say we all. Go ahead, Amy.
No, you're right. I think people do have certain expectations when getting married. Like they automatically think it's a fairy tale, and then they start having children, and then comes the stress. And I think that kids, although God love them, they provide a lot of stress in a relationship. I see that happen a lot of times, and I see that like divorce usually happens when the kids are between 5 and 6 years old, a lot, because it gets so stressful for everybody. And then again, it's an easy way out. But you are in the end, and you can hear our dogs barking. I apologize, but in the end, everybody is responsible for their own happiness. I never look to Kurt for happiness.
Well, that's because I lowered your expectations.
So, I mean, I am responsible for me and for making myself happy, as is he is. Except for when I do make him dinner, that does make him happy. But that's also on a rare occasion. So I figure if I just, don't do it a whole lot, then it makes it just extra special.
See, right? I lowered expectations and she lowered expectations. Yeah. So it's more real, right? So,
I actually just want to, with regards to the ultimate commitment, I know quite a few people that are, like Kirk mentioned, common law. So they're living together, but they're not married. And when I asked the specific person, so why do you choose to have been, living with this person for 20 years, knowing that this specific person also has some sort of legal rights to estate or so forth? Because usually that is one of the big reasons why a lot of people choose not to get married, because they do not want to share estate. And this person said to me, well, because in the experience of marriage, he felt that you become complacent and you let go of yourself, or the other person lets go of themselves. So there's not a constant work in the marriage, where if you're not married, you're constantly working on the relationship because you are not complacent, or you're not comfortable in that relationship yet with the commitment of marriage. So some people feel that marriage just creates a sense of complacent and comfortability, and people stop working on it. They work on the relationship at the beginning, working towards marriage, but once marriage hits a few years down the line, they lose themselves, or they don't put in the same effort into that relationship.
That must have come from the heart. That was a mouthful, Althea. But
so the thing is, where Bernadette Megan says that marriage is a choice. I think a relationship also that you enter into is a choice. You choose to make it work every single day. And what causes, and as mentioned before, what causes that relationship to end is when you stop working on it. When you choose not to work on that relationship anymore. And the question now that I have is, because with marriage comes that ultimate commitment that I'm with you no matter what. So at what point would it be enough to get a divorce?
I think that's an Amy question.
Oh yeah,
I can.
Nothing really bothers me.
Well, because I've been there. I think that it's really hard to get over infidelity. It's very hard to get over. Let's just say for me, it was very hard to get over, and that is like something that I couldn't live with. So hence the divorce for me. And let's see, what else would I would think? That to me is like the ultimate I don't know. I love, you lose respect, you lose trust with the person when that happens. And so that would be something where I would break a commitment for, and did, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that definitely sits heavy on anybody's heart once the trust has been broken, because once the trust has been broken, it's nearly impossible to gain that trust back again to the
Exactly.
point that you had that trust before.
Exactly.
I just would like to go to one comment.
This will cover our faces.
yes.
It's a longer essay.
So
Oh,
Haley says, years ago, marriage was forever. People didn't marry to get divorced, so they stuck together through thick and thin, sometimes to their own detriment. The difference in the present is easy come, easy go. If it's not working, they call it quits and move on. There is no right or wrong. There are no guarantees in life, and certainly not when entering into marriage. Some folks fall in love with the concept of marriage rather than with their potential spouse. I suppose it's a personal thing, and those.
Well, each to his own, she's saying.
Yeah. So
Basically.
what she's saying is, as like Biden said before, people get married because either of pressure. So what is the reasoning behind getting married in the first place? What was your reason for getting married? So that is what you always have to question.
My question would be also, because I'm finding myself in a different stage in my life now at the moment. So you need to also take place the factors of what's happening in your life at that moment also. You see, some people, they feel pressured because they maybe acquired a house together, or they purchase certain things together, and they feel they've got these certain material things they purchase together. Now they say, we've made this commitment on these things, why not just get married? We own these things together. Not saying, oh, we're good for each other still going forward. They must look at personality traits. They look at things that I've acquired. That's also one part. My thing goes back to where you find yourself at a certain age and a certain part of your life, because people change every day. You need to understand also. Sorry, Amy and Kurt and Lithia, I know I can bubble on sometimes, but people change every day. Kurt is not the same guy he was yesterday. So am I. So are you. So so is I. But this is the thing. Here comes what Megan says about choices. She says in the last part, marriage is a choice. Same thing with every day is a choice to be with that person, because tomorrow Kurt might not feel like putting his socks in the washer anymore, and that irritates you.
Yeah.
Little things can irritate you, because Kurt used to do it every day, but he doesn't do it tomorrow.
Kurt won't give that up because
I don't do laundry.
Amy's terrible at laundry.
You're getting off topic here, but laundry's not my thing. I do that.
You know what? I will agree with you. For me, it's not that I didn't want to be married. Even to Amy, it was I had to be ready to be married. Like my circumstances were, I had to. I don't know. I knew when I was ready, basically. And it's not that I didn't value her before then. It was I had to be personally ready to make that commitment.
Of course.
And I knew when I was. I'm ready. So she was really surprised, actually. Like, she had no idea. She had no idea.
That is
what
true.
aspects in your life, Kurt, needed to be put together before you could get married?
For me professionally, we had a lot of both of us had several years of just trials, tribulations. Professionally, I had lost a job and was trying to get my professional life together, so to speak. And once that all fell into place and I had established my new career, that helped me be ready. And then when I was able to transfer back here, we actually had a long distance relationship for 2 years, so which was hard. So yeah, so that was for me is you want to be able to not, I guess, take care of someone, but you want to be able to provide for them as well. So
Of course.
yeah.
And I love that, Craig, because in a lot of men, and I don't just want to make this a sexist thing, but there are men that want to get married, but they are not ready for marriage, and then they wonder why things are, or why they feel pressured. And I think in my own experience, I wasn't ready to get married, yet my partner at the time wanted to get married, but I did not feel he was ready for marriage because of the reasons that you stated. But yet, I think, and this is also where reasoning comes in, people think that marriage is going to fix things for them.
Oh.
Marriage is going to give them that push to work at things within their life. But they don't realize that if you're going to do things for not for yourself first, if you're going to do things for somebody else or for marriage, you're going to feel pressured. You're going to feel you're going to feel under pressure, and then that is actually when you break, or when you cannot take the relationship anymore, when you decide to look for things externally with outside of the relationship to fulfill yourself in a certain way, because you are not secure within yourself or where you find yourself in your life.
Right. You hit it.
That was it. Exactly.
Nail on the head. Yes.
And then Jason, I did say, I don't disagree with me. I did say it's about choices. Come on. So Jason says also, is marriage the ultimate commitment, or are your kids the ultimate commitment?
I think that marriage comes before kids. And I think that in order to have a healthy relationship, this is probably going to cause some controversy with me saying that. But I think that unless you're in a weird situation with kids or something, but I think you have to put your husband or wife before the kids. And actually, I think that the kids need to see that they are not the most important things out there in your whole entire world. They need to see love coming from their parents, and that the parents love each other back. That gives them a sense of feeling safe, in my opinion. That's just Amy talking, and I've seen that with my own kids too. So yeah,
wow.
Does that make any sense?
That is so open-minded, because I tell you now, of course, we're in a relationship. I have kids. She does not have kids. Now you see it from the outside world. I spoil my kids. I love my kids and so forth. But the thing is, now I have to understand I'm in a new relationship, So what you've just said opened up my mind, where you said my kids need to see me being affectionate, even if it's a new partner, not their mother, or so forth. But they need to see you as a lovable person, you spreading out and showing that you show love, not to make them a priority, but not your everything.
Right.
And it's a hard thing to do as a father. I would say from my side, it's a hard thing to overcome. But how you explained it really opens up my mind, and thank you for that, though. And I think Jason said he agrees with you on that, and that was so open-mindedly said.
Yes.
I think that I think that if with kids, and I have boys, so I have 3 boys without Kurt, and then we have 2 dogs together, which are our children. That's what I call them. And so I think that with my boys, it's healthy for them to see me happy with Kurt. I mean, that makes them feel safe and grounded, that mom's okay. And my kids are older, but even when they were younger and in a marriage, they still want that and need, and you're teaching them something. Like if you're not affectionate with your spouse or treat your spouse with respect, then how are they going? They're going to learning from you, and they're going to treat their spouse or a girlfriend or whatever, the significant other, the same way as you. You learn from your parents, whether or not. Unfortunately, we all think, oh, I'm not like my parents at all. But the older you get, you're like, oh, crap. I'm like, I'm so much like my mother. Yeah. Oh, my Lord, help me. I think that, you set that example for your kids, and that's very important. Relationships are so important to set the right example for your kids.
And for me, I just want to be a good, positive role model, someone they can rely on. They always call me first anyway.
Well, that's because he answers his phone and I don't.
But, and we always want to have and they're older, so an open home where they can come to, no questions asked, we try to provide that environment. So.
Love that. And because we had a similar topic about this, where people choose to stay in a marriage for the sake of their children, even though they are unhappy, and even though they are not affectionate or loving towards each other, they stick in that marriage for the sake of the kids, and they think that is the best outcome for the kids. And what you just said, I just love what you said, because this was something that was worrisome to Biden as well in his time of divorce. And he said, I just wanted my child to have a family structure, and I wanted her to experience that. And I said to him, you know what? I think it's best, in my opinion, if you're not happy in that marriage, for the kids' sake, it would be the best decision for you to leave that relationship, because whether you're not fighting physically or verbally, even the fact that you are not affectionate, or there's you know just uneasiness within that relationship, your kids can pick it up, and they're able to see what a loving relationship looks like if they're not experiencing it within the household.
Exactly.
So I just love what you said there. Okay. So Jason. Okay, yeah, that's just a comment of earlier where Jason says, "Is marriage the ultimate commitment?" Which is something that we just tackled on now. So Kurt and Amy, just a question with regards to, I know that in one of your videos you mentioned that you have been married before, and also with regards to your age difference. Is the age difference related to, is it you that's older, or is it Kurt that's older? And how do you find
Kurt's older.
No,
You got
no,
it.
he was older. Yeah,
I'm
I've
the
got the gray
old
hair.
lady. I'm a cougar. He hates it when I say that.
she's not a good.
I'm a cougar. I think a cougar is like a woman who goes after the younger guys, right?
That did not happen.
I just like to pretend that happened.
You know what? To be honest, I have never really thought about our age difference.
He doesn't think about it. I think about it more than he does,
Yeah.
or I did,
But people think I'm older than her. So
because of his gray hair, and I just dye mine.
And
So outside works wonders. But
that could be how Kurt carries himself also.
yeah,
well, probably not. Neither one of us is very mature. We don't act like our she definitely doesn't act her age. So
I also think, and I'm gonna. This is some marriage advice that we touched on briefly. If I could tell anybody, it's to not take yourself so seriously. And I think that that's one reason why people enjoy our videos on TikTok, because we don't take ourselves too serious, and that's probably why we're both pretty happy people too. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
you know,
when you learn to let go of and not care what other people think about you, then you will completely feel so peaceful and aligned with your partner. So I mean, like,
True.
I've really never had an issue with it. So she has more than I have, but I really never think about it.
well,
so.
I do have more energy right now than he does.
does.
You know, another thing that we as a couple had to take in consideration before marriage, and that's why probably for us too, I know for us, our commitment is really strong, because he had to be okay with the fact that he wasn't going to have kids with me, because I was older than he was, and so that for him, you had to take. I mean, to go, because he knew going into the relationship I was done, put out the pasture, put a fork in me, done. So, but for him, he had to, So when we say we say marriage is an ultimate commitment, that's a pretty big commitment for him to give up that, knowing going in that wasn't going to happen.
Oh wow,
That's amazing.
That is really how strong I feel about our relationship. So,
Oh wow, I wanted to go into that, but that would be take another long topic. Seeing that we're coming close to the end of the show,
Yeah.
I don't want to go into that. I want to take another. I wanted to, but I know that would make an argument going around now, having kids of your own and being in a relationship.
Because
But
listen,
I'm going to ask it. I'm going to.
Okay, let's go to the comment first.
No. Let me first go to the comments.
Marriage is just a piece of paper between two people. It's basically a contract to protect one another should we decide to split. A marriage certificate is nothing more than a business contract.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't want to
I
get
disagree.
married to you. Yo, wow. You don't need to get married, Terrence. Not a good candidate for marriage. Sorry. That's not. Oh Lord, that's all I got to say on that one. God love you. Bless your heart. Well, it's true. If you say it like that, I mean, sure.
it's an
But
expensive
I-
business transaction.
It's a very expensive business transaction. I don't look at it like that.
Lifelong business
Especially here in
transaction.
the States, you get divorced, it's going to cost some money.
I suggest you not get married. Terrence, do not get married if you look at it like that. Okay, call me, just DM me, and we will talk about this. I'm worried about you, Terrence. Okay.
I think Harris is not going to get married. He's
He's not going to get
definitely-
married. He's done.
Oh, Jaden.
Stop laughing. You guys have such great energy. But let's go back to that question. Kurt. um, the thing is, we don't have kids together, like I said. And of course, I might not be able to have kids because of certain factors in life, you
Right.
know? So, but of course, she's young. She wants to have kids, but she's committed to me now at the moment. And I'm throwing her under the chopping block.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, look, your circumstance is different than our circumstance.
Mm.
She can probably have children, so there's other ways, if you want to have children. So
But this is also the thing I spoke to her about. But well, she wants. This is the thing where people are stuck in this mindset. If she has kids with someone else, maybe not surrogate, what is it, donor, sperm donor, or whatever. Yeah, sperm donor. She feels that I might not feel for the child the same way or stuff like that. It's all blockages in the mind.
Yeah.
Because I feel you have the experience of having your own kids, and
I don't know. I wouldn't deny her the experience if she wants it.
I think that you will love that kid as much as you love yours. I think that you will. I mean, I have nieces and nephews I love almost as much as I love my own kids. So I think that you will. That's just my personal view. I mean, we have 2 dogs together. We love them both the same. So that sounds stupid. And also, I think I have 3 boys, and I love them. They're so different, and I love them each and every one exactly the same, and would do anything. And I honestly think I see a lot of people that have like that second child from a different marriage, and they love them just the same. Now, I think it's very important not to leave the first kids out and not to form your own little separate family. I think it needs to still be under one big, huge family roof. But I think that you will love the same, a new kid just the same.
Yeah, I would agree. If you raise that child from start, you'll definitely have a bond.
Thank you for just ensuring what I've been trying to tell her the entire time. I love that. Thank you for just ensuring that. That makes her probably smile or maybe think. Maybe we'll take the one more comment.
Let's go with it.
And this will cover our faces again.
So Haley Langley says, we all have love language. We cannot expect to be loved the way we love. Marriage means learning to understand and respect each other's love language and to hear each other where there is silence or inevitable discord. It takes work to keep the fire burning through all of life's realities. Marriage is not a fairy tale, but I do believe it is a beautiful institution if entered into for the right reasons. It remains a daily choice to work at things together rather than be pulled apart by
circumstances. I bet.
Circumstances.
Yeah, I think she just wanted to leave that one line.
Yeah.
Circumstances. Wow. Maybe one more comment if we can, guys.
So Bernadette says, I was married for 21 years, widowed now, so I totally believe that the marriage commitment can work. However, I also believe that you do not have to be married to be committed in a relationship. Relationships are hard work, whether in a marriage or not.
Amen, Bernadette. I believe in that as well.
Because not to, I mean, what Taden said about marriage being a piece of paper, to a certain degree, I mean, he's not wrong, which is, of course, what the contradiction is about.
How dare you?
He is a piece of paper, and people think that getting married is going to change the way you feel about somebody. It's going to change your level of commitment.
Exactly.
If you were not committed to that person while you were dating, chances is you might not be committed to that person in the marriage. So a lot of men think, bachelor party, let me just go ahead and have this one last night with another woman before I get married. I mean, if you could not respect your woman in a relationship, what makes you think you're going to respect her being married? So is marriage the ultimate goal?
I don't know what kind of bachelor parties you have in South Africa. But
Yeah.
Not just South Africa, it's across the globe. It's across the globe.
Strippers and
It's your one night single.
Your
Don't worry, you're not married. Woo! Let us sit on you. It's fine. Let him strip in front of you. It's fine.
I agree with that too. I think that if you are not already committed before you get married, then it won't work. So
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much spot on with that.
That's
what was the other comment?
What'd you do on your bachelor party?
Didn't have one.
That's a
So
question.
what was, the previous comment about love languages. That's a good one.
We do. I do believe in the love language because our love language is a lot different. You know, usually men are touch. You know, they like to be touched. Whoa, they love all that kind of stuff. And or you know, there's the 5 different love languages: gifts, time,
What is mine?
acts of service.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what he does for me.
That's my love language.
So usually your love language is what you want to do for the
someone
other
else.
person, and he does acts of services. Like I'm not much into that.
Her love language is wine.
My love language is wine.
No, for real, what is your love language?
What is my love?
Mhm.
Really, we're gonna talk about this now on a show? I'm not doing that in front of her. But I do think it's important to figure out. And it sounds so basic, like 5 love languages.
Words of affirmation.
That is
That's
mine.
her
Mine's
love
words of
language.
affirmation.
Mhm.
So, very good, honey. We're gonna stay married today.
So like mine is like deeds or service.
Mhm.
So she
Yeah.
can for me a little bit more.
Oh, wow.
Y'all are causing us to fight this morning on a Sunday morning.
You guys are supposed to still do a Christmas show before you go out of here, though.
I know. We got to go play Santa Claus and the elf right now.
Papa Noel. Is that what's in South Africa? What is Santa Claus?
Santa Claus.
I don't know. I
For the
bought something.
Christmas.
For the Christmas, maybe. Let's leave him
I
at
bought,
that.
I bought some. We have a Santa outfit, and I bought something this morning at a store. It said Papa Noel. I was like, what country is that?
I think you will make a really good Santa. And what's the Santa Claus and what's
An
the
elf.
female?
The elf, just
Okay,
the elf.
you
So I'm going to be an elf. So,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I already have an elf costume that's really cute, and I'm going to be an elf. But yeah, we're going to go and dress up and bring some cheer. You know, it's been a crazy 2020,
Yeah.
and that's another thing that we like to do as a couple. That really bonds us a little bit, and is kind of give back to the community in a way. And one is like he was the Easter Bunny this year. And we drove around. It was during quarantine when we were all quarantined, and so we drove around in our car. And it just we like bringing smiles to people, and in unexpected ways. So
I've got a good quote for you to kind of end it. So I had a fortune cookie probably 10 years ago, and I've tried to live by this. If you continually give, you will continually have. That's a good way to live your life. So we both.
and that's in marriage and
Everything. That's everyday
everything too. I think in a marriage as well.
Generosity.
I hope you have another quote, because we come to the section of the show close to the end now where we don't tell you this beforehand because we like to keep it authentic. Boom. Shocker alert. So what we do is, because we're all going through, COVID has struck everybody. Everything has been happening during this time. Everybody's struggling with jobs, struggling mental issues, whatever it is. And it does not need to be related to the topic, but some words of wisdom, or just encouragement, or just be real, as they would say.
Yeah.
So we would pop you guys on for 2 minutes, and you can just be real to our audience. Some words of wisdom, some encouragement, or do it together or separately. It's up to you.
You go first. I just talked.
Are we doing it right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's go
Go
time.
ahead.
Go time. Go.
Words of encouragement. Let's see.
Why do we do what we do?
Well, to make people happy. I feel like when I bring joy or smile, and I think that this is why I love TikTok so much, is that I enjoy bringing happiness to others, and that kind of has helped me get through this hard time, because I am very social person out there, and my job is, I sell real estate. So when we were in quarantine, I'm like, but for me is giving back to other people makes me feel good and helps me get through what everybody's going through right now, basically, with this weird 2020.
I would say let's challenge all the viewers to do one random act of kindness every week until the new year. See what happens in your life.
And it doesn't even have to be
No, nothing big. Just
you know,
Simple things in life
I-
can make go a long way.
like I think too, like for even just a Facebook message to somebody that you haven't talked to in a while, that is such a I try to do that once a day in the mornings. I will try to send out a Facebook message to somebody I haven't talked in a while and just tell them, hey, thinking about you. I mean, little things like that, little acts of kindness is so important right now, and not getting sucked into your own world. That's what I would say.
Yeah, especially with lockdowns, and that's kind of what one thing we've discovered from TikTok is we are very lucky to live in the United States. We have a lot more freedoms, especially where we live in the Southeast. We don't have code is not terrible, so but a lot of people don't have that. So we are an avenue to connect with those people. Well, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we go live, and so we connect with people all over the world. And it's unfortunate so many people are stuck at home pretty much 23 hours a day. So, but if you are want to follow us on TikTok, join us on Sunday evenings. Tonight would be 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yep. Most importantly, you be you. I think both of us would agree to that. That's one of the things I say a lot is you be you. And so a lot of times people lose their happiness in trying to be like other people, and that's just not the way to go. So for me, I'm very lucky that I've never had to struggle with that too much.
Well, I had to accept you.
You did. You did.
So
I love
Love
that.
that.
Love
yeah.
that.
So
And
don't try to change each other. You two are.
Oh, Terrence,
Oh.
I love Terrence. I think Terrence and I need to be friends.
Terrence agreed with you guys.
Terrence, are you agreeing about not getting married, or are you agreeing about what we're saying?
He's agreeing with you guys, and even Haley said, "I love your philosophy. Thank you for sharing." And
Thank you, Haley.
one act of kindness per week, loading. Thank you.
Mm.
That was well said, guys. Straight from the heart. That's why we do it. We don't prep anyone. We want to know what's on your mind,
Mhm.
what you want to share. Normally, when we over prep things, it just doesn't work out.
Yeah,
Right.
well, we're not very scripted, so it wouldn't have mattered. I would have forgotten it by the time you
Yeah.
asked me.
That's a good point.
So, anyway,
So- Kurt and Amy, where can the viewers get a hold of you, and where can they find some more? What is your TikTok name or your Instagram name? Where can they find you?
TikTok is Amy Barton Cotney, and I probably should have changed that, but I started out with Amy Barton Cotney, and that's kind of what it is. My Instagram is Sweet Home Auburn AL. And I have two. That's my business one, but that's kind of where everybody floats to. And then I have Amy Barton C. And then Facebook, I do Facebook a lot, but it's not my go-to for happiness. So Facebook is Amy Barton Cotney, realtor.
So go ahead and follow Amy Barton Cotney for her wonderful TikTok videos, and also on Instagram.
So we'll definitely, if you catch it on the replay, we'll definitely put it on top of this interview on YouTube and on Facebook and on all our other platforms. So you'll find it there. And hopefully a lot of people from South Africa would also start following you from your voice.
And we
Because
also are on YouTube too. We have a YouTube channel called Kurt and Amy, Living Out Loud. with
Living
Kurt
out
and-
loud.
Yeah, with Kurt
so
and Amy.
send us all those links and we'll put it into the comment section.
Awesome.
Thank you guys again for being a part of the show.
Thank
And I
you.
know you guys have to shoot, you have to run. We would have wished to have kept you 2 minutes after we've done, but I know you guys have to go. So you guys must have a beautiful, beautiful day further. And
Thank you so much,
Thank
Amy
you.
and
Thank
Kurt.
you. You guys have a great weekend or a great Sunday night. What's left of it?
And have a beautiful day, and enjoy being Santa and the elf.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you.
bye bye. It was amazing having
Mm.
both of them. It just shows how big the world is, though.
Mhm.
It just shows how many people's around there that wants to spread love, and also just like I heard said, one act of kindness. What's my
Yeah.
act of kindness going to be?
You decide. I'm definitely going to work on what Kurt has said. One act of kindness per week, or one act of kindness every single day.
Exactly.
I think when we live with gratitude,
Mhm.
then the more you give, as he said, the more you will have.
exactly.
So practicing kindness is a very important thing. And I think it's one of your pillars in life. That should be one of the pillars in life.
Mm.
But thank
So
you.
what was the contradiction in the show, guys? Do you know? I don't know. Choices. That was the contradiction. You know,
Mm.
you can contradict your choices in life, but that was the contradiction. No one has said it out. Normally people say, oh, that's the contradiction. But choices.
Hmm.
I think everybody agrees.
So,
Everything is about choices in
yeah.
life. Even if you contradict yourself with your own choice, it's a choice that you've made
Mm-hmm.
to follow through.
Mm.
So, yeah.
So if you make the
marriage.
choice of marriage, it is a commitment. It is a vow that you do take. Take that commitment seriously. Take the vow seriously.
Mm.
And try to make it work to the best of your ability. And if you choose not to get married, that's fine as well. It's all about what is your moral compass. What is important to you? What do you value in life?
Mm.
And you need to find somebody that is in line with your value system and that is in line with your moral compass.
Exactly.
Otherwise, things won't work as smoothly as you would like it to.
And like we say, but wait, go to YouTube also and subscribe because we're multi-streaming from that side.
Mm.
But as we say each week, we love you and
Good night.